Welcome to a Song of Ice and Fire Symposium. My name is Nav, and my pronouns are they, them.
And my name's Harmit, and my pronouns are Hershey, like the chocolate.
And this is A Storm of Swords, chapters 72 and 73, Jaime and John. In these chapters,
Jaime and John try to fulfill their promises.
welcome to the podcast, everyone. So, Harmith, who died in these chapters?
Oh god. Is it naive? Wait. Okay, in Jaime's chapter, nobody died.
I think you might be right on that.
Okay. And then in John's chapter, the eagle person, and then fight, die, Mance, question mark?
We don't know, I don't think.
Mance, question mark, and then just, like, a bunch of other people. 'Cause they be fighting.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I am gonna be honest, the chapter's a little fuzzy because I read them like a week ago, but like...
So true. I don't really remember what happened.
I remember being like, ooh, this Jaime chapter's juicy.
I remember loving them. Like,
Yeah.
hard... Wait, can I say what I thought? Or are you gonna ask me?
I guess. What did you think of these chapters?
Okay. Genuinely, like, so fun. Because also, I think this is our first time having Jaime and John, and just being able to, like, fangirl for both chapters was, like, so fun. Like, you guys, I don't understand. You know, people are just such haters. And I think that hating on being a fangirl, like, you're just a hater. Because it's so fun. Like, oh my god. Anyway. And it was just like we're getting to the end of the book. Like, it's getting juicy.
We don't hate you for being a fangirl. We just like to tease you for it.
No, not you. I'm just saying, like, the bigger general internet culture.
Okay.
Being like, wow, someone's a fangirl, they suck, you know? I'm talking about that. I'm not... You guys can make fun of me all you want, unaffected.
Did you hear that? Note that down.
Okay, I don't mean that. Anyway, just basically because, okay, so Jaime's chapter, it was like, wow, all these tragic things are happening, and we're getting all this tragic news. But Jaime is being an icon. And Jaime and Brienne are being icons together. And it was just really heartwarming. And I was like, oh, okay, there's hope in the world. And then John's chapter was kind of like, well, world's going to shit, but, you know, it's like an interesting conflict of, like, John, like, having to, like, do this weird towing the line thing and, like, having to deliberate everything. And it was a lot, but it was enjoyable, and I just love both of these characters, and they're definitely my favorites.
Cool.
Especially because everyone else that I like ends up dying, but we don't talk about that.
No, we do not. I gotta say, like, this Jaime chapter was a bit of a surprise for me. I forgot that it happens here, because it's surrounded by such, like, major chapters, like Stannis showing up at the wall, and, like, Tyrion being, you know, sentenced to death, and the Red Viper dying. Like, it's all this shit is happening. And Jaime's chapter, in the grand scheme of things, has very, like, smaller scale things happening, but really, they're so juicy, though.
Yeah, exactly. Because they're all, like, just so emotionally wrenching, and it's just so... You know,
and we get like answers to some questions, and that's
plots were moving, whether everyone else cared about them or not. I did.
Yeah. Okay, let's stop being so vague about it. Why don't you go ahead and summarize these for us?
God, these are such good chapters. I don't think I'm gonna be able to outline anything, but I will do my best.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, Jaime sees Cersei, and Cersei's basically like, you have to what does he have to do? What does she tell him to do? She tells him to do something, and he's like, I'm not gonna do it. I literally can't remember. Anyway, and then he sees Brienne, and he's like, oh my god, or Loras, and then he's like, Loras doesn't want to kill you. I don't want to kill you. I'm letting you go. You're gonna go save Sansa, but Arya that they're sending is not Arya, but Bolton wants. Whatever. Oh my god, I literally said nothing. It's fine. John is released from his little captivity stint, and he is sent to go talk to Mance beyond the wall, and he goes and he finds Mance, and Mance is like, they sent you, you fucking turncloak, but then he doesn't really say that, but then shit breaks out, and basically Mance is like, we have the fucking horn, and we can use it to tear down the wall, but we don't want to do that, because then we don't have a wall to protect us from the others, and we want you to let us through. Okay, that's a minute. I literally said nothing. It's like I couldn't remember this. I was like, what actually happened? I just remember the vibes, not the because a bunch of people were given a bunch of different things, right? He kept making him sign stuff. Anyway,
yeah. Wow. To me, it seems like you missed some of the actual juicier bits.
I didn't miss it. I just forgot it. I didn't miss anything.
In your summary, you missed it.
Okay, yes, that I did. That doesn't mean anything, though. That's because usually I read them, the day of. Today, I read these a week ago. These words mean nothing to me anymore. But, I don't mean that.
Okay, so let's get started with Jaime's chapter.
Okay.
So Jaime is in the small council, and they're all watching Tommen sign some shit. And it's all the punishments and rewards for the war and all of that thing. And, of note, they're obviously stripping the Tullys of all their things and then giving them to some of the Freys who are also part Lannisters.
Literally, screw all of you.
And Jaime, meanwhile, is like, I'm so bored, and also I'm sore from trying to figure out if I can fight with this left hand. So he took Sir Adam Marbrand aside, who is somebody he trusts as much as anybody else, really. And he's like, okay, let's test it out. And, turns out, it's not so good.
Bestie cannot fight, at all.
Yeah, and he talks about, how, with his right hand, it was so instinctual, and he just didn't have to think at all. But with his left hand, he has to constantly tell it what to do, and it's just not it.
Ugh. I mean, yeah.
We should all be born ambidextrous. Yeah.
I wish I was ambidextrous. I would, cry of joy. This is honestly a real irrational fear that I have that I think about all the time. I'm constantly
if you lose your right hand, then how are you gonna
Or if something happened to my right hand, or if I I did something to it playing a sport, because I do everything with predominantly my right hand. So I was like, how would I literally do anything with my left? I think about this all the time. And I remember when I was younger, I tried to make myself ambidextrous, but that's not really how it works. So it didn't work. So if anyone has any solutions
to a problem that does not exist,
it's fine. Anyway, I really felt this in my heart when he was
who's even gonna use our hands anymore? The way the world's developing,
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't see ourselves typing for much longer. We're just gonna think things and they're gonna appear on the screen.
Hover on our islands.
Because we're going to be sad. Bodies in little capsules, and we're just gonna use our brain power to run. We're gonna be in the Matrix. Anyway, moving on.
Okay, moving on. Okay, yeah. This makes me... Okay. Fucking Ramsay. This fucking... Ramsay? I want to ram thee into the ground and into hell and down into the fucking underworld.
What's he ever done to you?
Literally, go die in a fucking hole and then stuff dirt into all of, into every single one of your eyes, your nostrils, your mouth, your, ears. Just plug yourself away. You know,
Plug yourself.
Unplugging's good for the soul, right? Unplug yourself. Or plug yourself. I don't know. Either way. Whatever suits your fancy.
Pull the plug on your life, maybe?
Yes, there we go. Pull the plug. I just plug
yourself.
Like, come on. Well, yeah, you plug everything and then you go underground. Anyway, I just, like, this was, like, I think...
I'm sorry, I don't think you understand the sexual innuendos you just made.
You know what? It's fine. I don't care. I really don't care. Because there are not words.
Like
there are not words for how terrible this man is. Okay.
Anyway,
also,
back to the story.
Okay.
So
question.
Mm-hmm.
Or was it a question? Oh, not question. Defense for myself.
Okay.
Often for the chapters that I love, I'm terrible at summarizing them, but I think it's always because I like to forget the bad parts because I like the chapter so much. So I think I totally just, like, forgot all of this, like, Ramsay bullshit because I was like, tra-la-la-la-la, Jaime's an icon. So now it's all coming back to me and now I'm mad again. So...
Okay.
We've shifted vibes, and now I'm angry about Ramsay.
Alright, keep that anger, because Ramsay has been legitimized as Ramsay Bolton.
So we do that for him? We can't do that for John?
No, of course not. And then...
Screw all of you. He's also in the north.
Cherry on top, Bolton, Roose Bolton, has been named Warden of the North in place of the Starks.
Also, okay, so... is this whole Ramsay legitimizing and, like, all that shit, is this, like, a Ramsay's mission succeeded of, like, like, making his father proud and he doesn't have another heir, like, whatever, because he killed his other son, right?
I don't know.
Wasn't that a plot point?
Oh, no, like, Roose's other son? I think so.
Yeah. Okay, so now it's like, okay, my kid's right here, ready to lead, whatever. Or is this, like, a Lannister thing? Like, was it Ramsay? Was it Ramsay plus,
Roose?
Ramsay plus Lannisters? Or was it Ramsay impresses Roose, therefore getting legitimized via the Lannisters? Do you know what I mean?
I don't know if the Lannisters, like, really know anything about Ramsay.
Okay. Like, because I was just thinking, like, is this a Lannister... like, almost, could it also kind of be a Lannister ploy? Because then if Ramsay's in their pocket, then they can use Ramsay against Roose if needed. Or is this just, like, an impressing his dad?
We don't know yet, I guess.
Like, but I think from what we know before, right, everyone was like, oh, he's just trying to impress his dad and get legitimized.
We just don't have any, like, instances of there being any contact between the Lannisters and Ramsay is the only thing.
Yeah.
But maybe it's a thing that happened.
Yeah, I don't know, but it was just a thought. But either way, it makes me mad. I don't care whose plan it is, it sucks.
Yeah. So now there's no Winterfell, there's no Starks, and there's no Starks as Wardens of the North.
Okay, and question.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason Emmon Frey is being given it is because he's related to the Lannisters via Jenna Lannister. Okay, because I was like, isn't there people ahead of him? Okay, so they wanted to keep it in the family, basically. Yeah. Okay.
These were the only Freys that, when the Freys were with Robb, weren't with Robb.
Oh,
it was their kid who was killed with Jaime. What's his name? Cleos Frey.
Oh yeah, LOL.
Yeah.
Okay. Only Freys that were never with Robb. Oh, so this isn't really rewarding. Well, it is rewarding the Freys, but not, like, totally.
Yeah.
It's still like, you betrayed us for Robb, but now you've earned...
Yeah, like, we're gonna give it to a Frey, but we're gonna give it to a Frey that's really a Lannister, you know?
Right. Okay.
Now, let's move on to the spicier things, if you will.
Who is this?
Oh my god, Harmut,
Who is Spicer? Who is Rolf?
Rolf Spicer. Uncle to Queen Jane Stark.
Okay. Okay. I was gonna ask about this, but okay. Fuck him.
Yeah, this is the
Fuck
guy
him.
that Greywind didn't like.
Greywind didn't trust, and we were like, he's doing something, he's plotting. So, at least I was kind of right. But, like, also, F you, I'd rather not be right and have Rob alive.
And not just that. So he is being given the title to Castle Castamere, which I don't know if I would take that as, like, a compliment. If Tywin is like, here, take this castle that I reigned the Castamere out of, like, you know? And he's gonna be a lord now. And also, royal pardons for Lord Gawain Westerling, his lady wife, their daughter Jane, welcoming them back to the king's peace.
So, okay. So, is this, like, so direct betrayal, question mark? Or is it just
That's
like
a real quick pardon, is all I'm saying.
Or is it like, but maybe it's through the Rolf shit, or maybe it was just like the dad, and not, like, I just don't want to believe that Jane was also in on it.
So this, or if you remember us, like, musing, why the fuck did Rob marry Jane? Mm-hmm. And it was like, oh, he had sex with her, so he was kind of honor bound to do it. And we were like, why did they put him in her room of all the rooms in the castle? Right?
Yeah.
So this suggests that that may have been intentional, that they set him up for that.
No, that makes sense, unfortunately. But, like, was she in on it too?
I don't know, you tell me.
No.
She has been pardoned, so has her entire family, for committing this great act of treason.
It could have been everyone else.
Just, except Jane?
Yeah.
Okay, so you think she really loved Rob?
I don't know if she really loved Rob. Like, you know, it's just like, oh, he was a king, you know, like, who's not gonna, like, and, like, he was cute, like, who wouldn't fawn, like, you know? Like, he's rich, he's cute, like, do you know what I mean? So,
right.
Like, I don't know if she loved him, but at the very least, like, I just like to think that it wasn't, like, a... But at either way, yeah, no, it... whole fucking shit. I was gonna ask you, okay, but what about her uncle? So I guess that was already, like, that was literally my question here, where I was like, okay, but I thought the uncle was the issue, not her parents. But I guess it was just everybody, so they all suck.
Yeah.
Yay. Lovely.
Anyway, but the last we knew of Jane, she was still in Riverrun. And the last we know of Riverrun is that it was under siege, right?
Yeah.
So we don't know if they're, like, free to accept this pardon yet. Like,
oh my god.
Anyway, just a thought.
I hate everybody.
Some more pardons for the Brackens, for Lord Vance, for Lord Goodbrook, Lord Mooton, and yeah, I think that's it.
Who are these people?
Like river lords, river landlords.
Oh, so is it just like people who, like, bent the knee now?
I guess, yeah. So people who were fighting with Rob, who are no longer.
Okay.
Jaime, meanwhile, all this is going on and he is not thinking about that. He's like, oh, I should have gone to Ilan Payne because he's got no tongue, so he can't talk shit about my shit abilities in sword fighting. But he went to Adam Marbrand and it is what it is. Then he is... he's like, okay, cool, I'm gonna leave now. And, oh yeah, this is where he brings up, like, oh, that was a nice gift that my dad gave me. And Kevin tries to be like, oh, it was a heartfelt gift. We thought it might encourage you to grow a new hand. Like,
oh my god.
We don't actually, like, I think we as readers kind of know that, you know, Tywin was planning to give him the sword, but Jaime doesn't actually say it's the sword that's the gift until he gives it to Brienne.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, he's making note of Tommen, and he's not even 9 years old yet, and he is king now.
Oh my
and
god.
he's like,
his favorite part of the job is stealing the letters.
Which I totally get. Like, one of my pandemic hobby was making wax seals. It's
oh,
so
yeah,
fun.
It was. I forgot about that.
It was good. It's a satisfying thing to do. But this poor kid's just signing whatever they put in front of him.
Yeah. And at the beginning of the chapter, they're like, oh yeah, he's sitting on a bunch of cushions because he's literally a child.
Yeah. Just needs
Table's
a little
really
high
too big
chair.
for
It's
him.
fine.
Oh my god. Does he need a sippy cup too?
Probably.
Oh my god.
So Jaime leaves the council chamber, and he's got like Maren Trant standing outside and is like, make sure the king's cool. And he's like, okay, I will. Then he goes off to he's out in the yard, and he's passing by the stables where Steelshanks, Roose Bolton's guy that he rode into the city with, is getting ready to go just as soon as Milady is mounted.
Oh
and this
god.
is where we meet
Arya,
Mhm.
supposedly. These people are cruel.
How so?
And it's just like so annoying. And it's obviously not Arya. But she's like, oh yes, hi, Jaime, we met when you came to see Winterfell, and I was there as a little baby girl. And he's like, Arya? Okay, this is not Arya.
Yeah.
Even though he's like, I never really noticed
Yeah, like,
Arya,
this girl looks older than how old Arya should be right now.
Mm-hmm.
And she is to wed Ramsay Bolton.
Oh my god.
And they say he's very brave. I am so happy.
Oh my god. But she has like fear in her eyes.
Yeah.
Or she just sounds really scared.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh. I was like, I don't like you posing as Arya, but it probably wasn't really your like thing anyway.
Yeah.
Like, it's not your plan, so I can't really be mad at you, but still. And this makes me so mad, because it makes Bolton look good. It's like, oh my god, they betrothed Arya to me, and I was loyal to them the whole time until I couldn't be anymore. And I just want Bolton to pay for his sins.
Who betrothed Arya to me?
Not to Bolton, but like this is just like even further like away from Bolton getting the justice he needs.
Yeah. Okay, so questions. First, who is this child?
No fucking clue. How are they? I don't know. Maybe it's like another North girl. I can't think of anybody else that we know who's like just some random girl.
You can't think of anybody at all.
Some random girl.
Okay, fair enough.
King's Landing.
All right, so we.
No, okay, wait. Yeah, I don't know. Who do we know that was some random? Because here's the thing: if there had been some random girl just like there in King's Landing, wouldn't like Sansa wouldn't people have encountered? Mm-hmm. Like this could be anybody's kid.
Yeah, well, all we know is that she's got, like, dark hair, she's a bit older than Arya, she's got a pretty but sad face, and that's it.
Like...
Okay,
yeah.
Moving on. So, clearly, Jaime is not convinced. He knows that this is, he's like, it's probably, like, there's probably enough resemblance, not that it matters, it's not like anybody knows Arya anyway. Yeah. Everybody who did is dead. And, yeah. So he moves on from that. And we'll come back to this a little bit later.
Mm-hmm.
But while he's in the stables, he thinks about the stable boy that was killed during the fighting.
Mm-hmm.
So Jaime had told everybody to keep them out of the way, but it turns out Boros got distracted by the duel and let the crowd get too close, and then obviously what happened. And Gregor Clegane, we hear, is now paying for his sins, and he's still alive, but barely. His howls are heard ringing from the maester's chambers like day and night. and his flesh is like mortifying, and his wounds are oozing pus, and maggots won't even go near him, and it's just
oh my god,
all sorts of gross rot things happening, and his veins are turning black, and if they leech him, the leeches die.
Oh
so,
my god,
Pycelle,
one step up from Bolton.
Poor Pycelle. I can't believe that I'm saying poor Pycelle, but he is trying everything to be like, I'm trying to save him, but I need to know exactly what substance Prince Oberyn used if I'm going to treat him against it, or treat him for it, you know?
Yeah.
And his suggestion is to detain the remaining Dornishmen until they tell him what's going on. And Tywin's like, yeah, we're not going to do that. We're in enough trouble with Dorne as it is, and I'm not going to, like, piss them off even more.
Yeah.
And, you know, Pycelle's like, yeah, okay, but then Gregor's going to die. And Tywin's like, oh, he sure will, but at the sword of the king's justice, not a poison spear, because I need to look like I'm giving them justice. And you just gotta heal him.
Please.
And Tywin at this point mentions that Varys sent some spies over around Dragonstone, and the island is completely empty.
Oh my
like,
god!
With just
Where
barely
did
a
they
token
go?
force, and all the ships are gone. And he might be planning an attack, and we need those Dornishmen with us. Otherwise, we're gonna be screwed.
Oh
and
my
now,
god.
if these chapters had been separate, I would have been like, where do you think Stannis went? Where?
It was one of my predictions. I was like, okay, I had 3 thoughts.
Yeah.
One of my thoughts was just a question. First, my thought was like, Stone Dragon, ? Did we just ditch that whole plot? Like, that was my question. And then my predictions where I was like, okay, they've either gone to help the North, because at this point we've heard the letter, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, they've gone to the North. Or I was like, do you remember how all of his people were getting really restless? So I was like, second thing, maybe they all just, like, ditched him.
Ooh.
So those were my 2 thoughts. So the less spicy thought won out.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Anyway,
I'm a little genius, basically. Because I was also right about him, Gregor, getting poisoned and dying. And also...
Well, he's not dead
them
yet.
going... Okay, well, he's gonna die.
Okay.
I know it in my heart. Well, he's dying either way, basically. Unless he runs away with pus oozing out of him. Which I don't foresee.
Okay. Well,
he'll die anyway, because then he won't have a maester. So either... Any of the 3 ways, he's dead. At some point.
Yeah, so Tywin's theories are either he's gone to Storm's End to kind of like rouse the Storm Lords, or he's gone to Sunspear, because now Sunspear's got beef with the Lannisters too.
That would be kind of smart. Maybe he should have done that. Now that I think about it.
Yeah, but then Jon would be dead, and then you would be sad, so...
Yeah, true.
Anyway, so that's kind of like the end of Jaime's thoughts on that matter. Then he's back at the White Sword Tower, and he's like going up to his room where he finds Cersei just gazing out the window and just being all
looking so beautiful.
Exactly.
And the moonlight's bouncing off of her, and the like
moonlight.
gown
I think
fits
this is the
her
middle
really
of the day.
whatever, okay. And her like, outfit just like really is like suiting her body, basically, is this whole description. Like, I'm like, okay, Jaime, every time he starts describing her, I'm like, okay, we get it. Like, we can move on. Like, we don't see her the way that you do, so this is ineffectual. Like, come on.
Or like if this was anybody's POV but Jaime's, or maybe like Tyrion's, like it would be.
Yeah, exactly. If it wasn't a sibling POV, maybe we could get down with it. But he's like, Cersei.
Yeah, and
why
she's
are you here?
crying.
Oh.
So she has been kicked off the council.
Oh yeah, this was the issue. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. And
damn.
that she's mad that they're making Tom and Mary Marjorie, which like everybody was like, that's probably gonna happen. And he's like, yeah, who cares? Just let him do it. And she's like, he's your son. And he's like, not really. You made me stay away from them, so I never really I never really was apparent to them.
Mhm.
And
You know what I think?
Mhm.
I think that the seat is going to the Tyrell.
Which, like Cersei's seat?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Well, she was Queen Regent. Is she still Queen Regent? Or is
I don't think so.
Tywin King
I think
Regent?
Tywin as hand is...
He's Hand and Regent?
Yes.
I guess that... I mean, that is possible. I just wasn't...
Yeah, and if she is Queen Regent, I think it's one of those, like, oh, well, she's a woman, so the hand overpowers, so it doesn't really matter what she is anyway. She's not really in power.
Yeah. Anyway, so she's like, well...
But I feel like if she was Queen Regent, she would have been like, I'm Queen Regent, he can, like, you know? So
yeah,
maybe they've...
but I don't know how far that goes with Tywin.
True. But that is her, like, catchphrase, so...
Yeah, so Jaime's thinking about how he should have been the one to kill Robert, and he says, I'm not ashamed of loving you, only of the things I've done to hide it.
This was such a good line.
It would be so romantic given any other circumstance, but now we're
okay,
like,
but it was still, you know, sometimes I'm just like, these lines, and I just like to ignore what he means by them, and I like to just impose my own thoughts onto them.
You think he's saying this for you.
No, that's not what I mean. No. No, that's not not in this case. I'm sure I've thought that with, like, John sometimes, for sure. But like, here it's just, like, I just take it out of context as a romantic line, you know?
No,
so.
It is definitely a good line. I highlighted
like,
it.
Oh my god. Like, wow, you know? And it's, like, I feel like it's also just, like, yeah, I feel like it just, like, kind of applies for anything. Like, even sometimes, yeah, I just feel like it's just, like, it's so broad, beyond everything, like, just a really good one-liner.
Yeah.
Slay Jaime.
I could see, like, Jaime being a queer icon if he wasn't so into incest.
That's so funny.
Anyway, so he goes on to, like, that boy at Winterfell. And Cersei's like, well, I didn't tell you to throw him out the window. Even though, like, I don't know what I don't know what I would do if I were Jaime or Cersei in that circumstance. We all saw both Catelyn and Ned be like, maybe I would have done the same thing.
Yeah, because I feel like at that point it's like you're so committed to
and
this person.
They were justifying it as like, oh, if we get caught, then we, like, our kids are dead and that kind of thing.
Yeah. I don't know.
Anyway, so...
But it makes sense that he's ashamed of doing that, even if in that case he couldn't have, you know?
No, but, like, did I tell you to throw him out the window? Like, oh, you should have just gone hunting. Like, I don't know what other option there was. I'm not saying throw kids out windows, people, but I'm just...
No, I know, but I think I'm just not on Cersei's side, is what I'm trying to say. Like, where she's just she just accuses everybody else, and it's just really annoying.
I think that's, she's not taking responsibility for her role in that.
Yeah. She's like, oh, if you just hadn't been there, but it's like, no, you both decided to do that in an empty freaking tower.
Yeah, but
away from home.
No, you had to have me. You could not wait until we returned to the city, which brings back, like, our whole take on that sept scene, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
So they're talking now about Catelyn's accusations about one of them sending the assassin to kill Bran with the dagger. And Cersei's like, yeah, that was not me.
Now we kind of get a method to the madness, because but yeah, Cersei's like, Jaime basically is like, you sure it wasn't you? And Cersei's like, what is wrong with you? Like, I wanted him to die, but I didn't do it. Even Robert said he wanted him to die. And Jaime's like, wait, what? And she's like, yeah, like, he said that, like, he just fucking, this ableist man, he basically was just like, oh, like, the kid needed mercy, whatever. And Jaime's like, oh, like, was anyone else there when he said this? And Cersei's like, our kids were there, but that was it. Didn't say it in front of Ned. You think Myrcella did it? And Jaime's like, no, but Joffrey. And Tyrion came to this conclusion too.
Yeah.
like, in the, not purple wedding? Is it purple wedding?
Yeah.
Blue wedding?
Purple.
Yeah, purple wedding. Forgot the colors. In the blue wedding.
Purple wedding. I don't know where you went.
Or wait.
Again.
In the purple wedding episode. And
yeah.
This was a weird brand of daddy issues that came up here. I was like, what is happening?
Jamie's kind of like conclusion to draw from this is like, potentially that was a reason why Tyrion would want to kill Joffrey, because that whole situation caused a lot of trouble for Tyrion, and he almost died for it.
I mean, George R. R. Martin kind of tried to convince us of that too, because as soon as he figured that out, then the whole thing happened.
Yeah.
Because I had to go back.
It's almost like if both of these chapters are written by the same person or something.
Yeah, but I just mean, like, first he tried to convince the reader, and then he was like, then he went in universe. He was like, Jamie, now you're gonna believe this. You're gonna get all the clues for this. Because when Tywin gave the half of ice to Joffrey, like his part of it, he was like, I'm no stranger to Valyrian steel. Yeah. And Tyrion was like, oh yeah, with a hilt and a little thing and a... and they had this, like, whole exchange, which I did not understand at the time, but now looking back, it's cray.
Yeah. Well, like, hopefully you understood it when we analyzed it in our podcast.
Yes, but I'm just saying, it's like, it's coming back.
Yeah.
You know?
It's good, right? So it kind of further cements that Joffrey did this, and this gives us, like, I think you were like, but why would Joffrey do that? So now you have your why.
This gives us the daddy issues closure.
Yeah, so Joffrey clearly wanted to impress Robert, who he thought was his dad, and chose an interesting way to do it.
Because Tyrion kind of just left it at, like, oh, like, maybe he just, like, he was...
It's Joffrey. He doesn't need a reason to try to kill somebody.
Exactly. He was fighting with Robb, and he was talking about how he wanted to put those wolves down, so he might have just taken, like, the child and just done it, but...
Yeah, although, like, I don't see Joffrey, like, taking credit for this situation, so, like, how was he planning to impress Robert with his actions?
I don't know. Maybe it was just, like,
Maybe it was the thinking of an 11-year-old, and that let's leave it at that.
Yeah,
it's
maybe,
not very,
I don't know.
And everybody's like commented on how it was not a very smart plan. So
yeah, I think
that's
it was
not
just
Joffrey's
like
strong
misguided. Yeah, I think it was just a misguided child being like, my father wants him dead, therefore he will be dead because I'm never gonna impress my father anyway.
Okay.
And that also makes I don't know why he's British. I'm like turning him into like Draco Malfoy, and I don't like it. Like, in terms of voice. But I also think, like, this almost, like, gives more context, too, just to, like, him as an individual, like, when he, especially, like, every time after he got on the throne, when he'd be like, oh, well, my father would have just killed him, like, his little thing there. So I guess it kind of makes more sense, but it's also just, like, ick,
Yeah. I wonder if this was, like, George R. R. Martin's, like, initial thoughts on who sent the assassin.
Or if he just made it up along the way.
Because, like, or, like, if after 2 books, people were like, we still don't know, dude. And he was like, oh, right, we don't know. I guess I have to resolve that. And he just kind of put this in there.
Please, the gardener's flower finally made it out of the pot.
Yeah, I don't know.
Please.
So Cersei's like, well, I don't care why. That person, he killed Joffrey, and I want him dead. And
I was wondering, could something be done with this later?
What?
Like, I know Jaime couldn't use this information, right? Like, let's say if he tried to use, like, let's say he said, because let's say he wants to get Tyrion out, and he tried to say, hey, Tyrion, wait, that doesn't even make sense.
Yeah.
I was about to say,
I don't think you could justify killing the king.
No, not killing the king, but I was like, maybe... I was about to say something not very smart, but basically I was about to say, oh, what if, like, Joffrey framed Tyrion because he found out that Tyrion found out about him sending the assassin, but that doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
Joffrey's
that just
not going to frame it in a way that he dies.
Yeah.
So, anyway, I don't know. I just wonder if somebody could one day use this I don't know, just like against a dead Joffrey to be like, look, he was even worse than we thought. Like, I just hope this gets out somehow, I think is what I'm trying to say. One day. Somebody else figures this out and it gets out.
Yeah. I don't know.
That Joffrey tried to kill a child when he was a child.
I feel like the people who really know already know, you know?
Do they?
Not that he tried to kill a child, but that he's the kind of person that would try to kill a child. Like, I don't know what that would change.
Right. Okay, true. He's already at the lowest of the low. How do you get worse?
Anyway, so Cersei is upset because she is being alienated from her only remaining child. And she's being sent away and being forced to wed again. And she wants Jaime to fight back against that. And Jaime's like, it's not like Tywin listens to me. He will if you agree to leave the Kingsguard. And Jaime does not want to do that.
But is it just like Tywin would like kind of take back Jaime as his son and therefore listen to him? Like, I don't understand what she thinks is going to happen, because I just think that wouldn't be effective anyway. Like, even if he was like, I'll leave, like, is he going to be like, I'll leave the Kingsguard if you let Cersei stay here with her kid? Like, is that the deal that's going to be?
Maybe.
Like, but still, like, I don't know. Like, does Tywin respond to threats like that? Like, you know?
Well, he's got no heir as of right now other than Cersei, so I don't know what...
Right. So he might just take it.
Yeah. Anyway, after hearing that Cersei's being forced to marry again, Jaime is like, oh, I don't like that, like, internally. And he asks who, and she's like, I don't know, it'll be some guy who Tywin needs for something or other. But you're the only man I want in my bed ever again. And Jaime, this Delulu motherfucker, is like, go tell him that then.
Oh my god.
Just seriously. And like, on this, I'm with Cersei. She's like, you are mad. And also, would you have us ripped apart as Mother did that time she caught us playing? Have we heard about this before?
I don't think we have, or maybe we have, but if we have, it was super vague.
So apparently their mom caught them.
She done knew. I don't think she told Tywin, though, because she also didn't tell him about the wedding plan that she made with her fellow soul sisters.
Yeah. And Jaime's trying to be like, well, the Targaryens did it. And she's like, we're not the Targaryens. And he's telling her to be quiet so that nobody, like, overhears them. And then, yeah, she's just trying to, like, plead it to him, like, hey, please, dude. So she tries, like, a lot of different tactics. She's like, first she tries the crying thing, then she tries the angry thing, now she's back to the pleading thing. It's quite interesting. Yeah. And she tries to seduce him into doing it at this point, and Jaime just says, no, not here. They'd never done it in the White Sword Tower, much less in the Lord Commander's chambers. Cersei, this is not the place. To which she responds, the Sept wasn't the place, and you didn't care then. And yeah, Jaime, she's got you there. Not that, like, oh, I forced you into sex and this other place. You forced me. Yeah, like, you forced me.
I should force you here.
Yeah, like.
But it is like, okay, so when it's your, like, when it's a thing that you think is, like, a pure place, and, like, oh, the Lord Commander shouldn't, therefore not in the Lord Commander's chambers.
Yeah.
Like, what is this weird,
is showing
like,
some red flags in terms of Jaime.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like,
I also,
the Sept?
it's like a green flag in that, like, oh, he respects his thing, but, like, does he really?
Yeah.
And then also, like, yeah, he does not really care about her wishes as much as he seems to think he does. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he says a firm no, and Cersei's, like, first confused, but then she's enraged by it. She gathers herself together and leaves. Oh no, before she leaves. Sorry. There's more things
I was
that
like,
happened.
what do you mean?
She does not leave. I forgot. I read these like a week ago.
Oh my god.
And she's like, oh, did they only take your hand or your manhood as well? Because like of course we have to resort to that kind of like just whatever. And
she's like, before you lacked the courage to avenge Joffrey.
Yeah.
Right, that's what you totally weren't asking him to kill his, like, unconvicted brother.
Wait,
like,
was she?
She was like, wasn't she literally like, I need you to go kill Tyrion because he killed Joffrey? Wasn't that literally what she wanted from him?
Did she say that?
Yes, she was like, avenge your brother, he should die.
Avenge your son. No, this is where she says, you lack the courage to avenge Joffrey. Why would I think you'd protect Tommen?
No. I'm saying the lacking the courage to avenge Joffrey is referring to in the Sept when she was like, you should just kill him.
Oh, yes. Back then she said that.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry. Yeah. I thought you meant she said it in this interaction
No.
here.
No.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, well, if you'd killed all 3 of your children, would that have got you angry? And,
oh my god.
You know, he, being the fool he is like, well, I don't think he killed Joffrey, and I don't think he's going to harm Tommen or Myrcella. And she's like, how could you possibly? And he's like, yeah, well, he swears he didn't do it. And Cersei's reply is, well, oh, and I guess he doesn't lie. Is that what you think? And Jaime's reply is, not to me, no more than you would. You great golden fool. He's lied to you 1,000 times, and so have I.
Okay,
Jaime,
Miss Cheater.
What Delulu world are you living in?
Oh my god.
He really thinks that she's never lied to him.
Oh my god.
And, like, there's just so many times that she has.
Yeah, I think... Yeah, this is not a very, like, reasonable man. In, like, a lot of circumstances. He's just, like... I think he, like, finds a cloud and he's like, I'm just gonna live here for a while. I think he has, like, this, like...
He's definitely got a rose-eyed view of the world.
I feel like, yeah.
He's definitely got a bit of that Sansa in him.
Yeah. But I don't know if it's, like, generally, or if it's just, like... I don't know if it's generally because of his life. Because he's been, like, you know, he's been, like, the golden child, and he's been amazing at everything. So maybe it's just, like, I don't know if it's just, like, the privilege of his life, or if it's, like, when it comes to Cersei, he's unable to see reason, because they're so weird and so intertwined in the worst of ways. Like, I don't think I've made a judgment yet, whether it's, like, or maybe it's probably a bit of both, where it's, like, his life has just kind of been very, like, you know, he gets picked for everything, all of that. He's, like, this pretty picture vibe person.
So he's lived a rose-eyed life, so he's...
A little bit, but I also think, like, you know, he's still, like, like, a little bit, but I think a little bit of it also is also just, like, whatever he has normally, whatever, like, rosy-eyed view he has normally, when it gets to Cersei, it gets so intensified. So... I think
that makes sense. I'm just too tired to really think further on it.
But yeah, and, like, also, this just reminded me of, like, the multiple times that she has, like, cheated on him, and, like, all of that, too, is just, like, that's, like, beyond just, like, telling him a white lie, like,
yeah.
You know? So, yeah, I feel bad. Yeah, I don't know.
Basically, this is when she's like, okay, well, we'll make sure you get Tyrion's head as a souvenir, because you love him so much. And he tells her to go. She goes.
And she's like, wow, a pity that my dad never had a son. I could have been his son, but I just don't have a dick, basically.
Yeah.
This is basically her, like, her, like, biggest problem, always.
Right.
In her mind.
Yeah, there's more thoughts on that, but I think we can talk about that later. Not today later, but like in a later chapter.
I was like,
later.
she does not come back later.
No, like in a later chapter. Because honestly, I'm feeling my brain shutting down. Like I'm actually like hearing the Windows 95 shut turn off sound. And
oh no.
I want to contribute. I want to keep whatever energy I have left for the places that are like specific to this chapter. Okay, anyway. I've lost a hand, a father, a son, a sister, and a lover, and soon enough I will lose a brother.
This is so sad.
And yet they keep telling me House Lannister won this war. Which I'm like,
God.
boo-hoo, Jamie. People actually died elsewhere, so go get over yourself, you know?
I know, but like his heart aches, man.
Yeah.
Can't put a price on emotional heartbreak.
Yeah. So he calls for Loras, and Loras comes with Brienne. He calls for Loras to bring Brienne. So they come in, and Jamie's like, so, do you think she did it? And Loras is like, I think it might not have been her, and that it might have been Stannis, but I don't know for sure. And
that's exactly how he said it.
Yeah.
Please.
And, Jamie's like, well, there was this other guy who died suspiciously, so it would seem like it's all in her favor. So, like, let's give her the benefit of the doubt. She's cool. You can go. And Loras is like, okay, I guess. And so Brienne's back in, like, a dress or something, but she's clearly uncomfortable, but not as uncomfortable as that dress she was in Harrenhal, so that's something. And, they're just checking each other out, and yeah, she's like, oh, the white cloak is new, but I'm sure I'll soil it soon enough. That wasn't what I was about to say. I was gonna say it becomes you. Like, he kind of assumes the worst before he lets her finish her sentences, and you were like, they were vibing together, and I'm like, no, this is the opposite of vibing together. They were vibing like opposite.
No, you think there's no time for nuance in a 30-second summary. So you just, like, vibing together was just like, oh, they're finally together again.
Yeah.
Moving on.
And she's like, oh, you vouched for me. You said I had honor. And he's like, well, I'm the Kingslayer, so it's not like it's worth much.
This was so annoying.
This is like Jamie's like self-hatred coming through.
Yeah.
And I didn't like it.
I know.
I like it when he's like fake confident.
Oh my god. Please. Yeah. It's like weird because they like, I don't know. Because they kind of, like, what I like about them, just like as two people that interact, not as anything more, is just like, I feel like they kind of like force each other to kind of like think beyond what they know. Like him with Brienne being like, oh my god, she's just like this like ugly girl who like wants to be a fighter. But then he's like, oh wait, like she is pretty. Like her eyes are really pretty. And then like, oh wait, she's a really good, like she's an amazing fighter. Like, you know? And then like her being like, well, you're just a Kingslayer and you suck. And then actually kind of getting his backstory and like learning there's more to him.
Yeah.
Like I like that they kind of just make each other confront all of it. But right now it's like we're making backwards progress and it's not good.
Like they have come to better conclusions about the other person, but Jaime won't let her respect him.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then also, when he offers her the sword, she does think that he means for her to go kill Sansa. So
they both, like, they're both on a journey.
Yeah.
They're not super far into the journey, but, like, I feel like the potential is there. But yeah, it's definitely a bit of both. But it's like, as soon as one person isn't thinking it, the other is. And it's tough. But it's still just nice, because you can see the potential, and you can see them both, like, kind of trying a little bit, you know? Like, he stands up for her, like, she's kind of like, oh, you're cool, you know? So.
Yeah. Well, anyway, this is when he's like, by the way, Steelshanks is going north with Arya Stark. Also, by the way, she's not Arya Stark. Don't waste your time. My father just found some skinny northern girl around the same age and the same coloring, dressed her up in the right colors, and now she's off to the north. And Brienne's like, well, when Boost Rolton, I was going to say Boost Rolton. When Roose Bolton learns about this, that's not going to be cool. He's not going to be cool with having a fake Arya.
Please.
And Jaime's response is, oh, he knows. Lannisters lie, remember? It makes no matter. The girl serves his purpose just as well. Who is going to say that she isn't Arya Stark? I'm not sure if Roose Bolton knows. I don't know what I got out of this line.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, does he know, like, for sure this is Arya Stark? Or does he know that Lannisters are liars, so, like, it's likely that this is not Arya Stark? Like, what does he know?
I don't think Jaime's, like, right here. Like, I think, not thinking about Jaime's interpretation of this, I think it's just, like, whether he doesn't care whether it's Arya or not, but I think it's also just, like, because they haven't, you know how we haven't heard any news about Arya at all from the Lannisters since she went missing?
Yeah.
So I think Jaime's probably just referring to the fact that, like, Roose Bolton's probably smart enough to, if he wanted to, figure out that it's not Arya, because they haven't heard anything about Arya. There's been no news. So this is, like, Jaime kind
of projecting, like, oh, he probably knows.
Yeah.
Not
I don't
that
think Jaime knows
sure
anything.
Knows.
I don't think Jaime knows anything here.
Okay, and does Roose Bolton know that this is a fake Arya?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I don't think Tywin would tell him, and I don't think Bolton would ask. Because Bolton would be like, this works for my plan. The real Arya's probably dead.
So okay. Now you're saying that Bolton does suspect that she's not real?
No. Okay. I don't know I don't know what Bolton knows. We have no indication of anything.
Okay.
But I don't think even if Bolton suspected it, he wouldn't pursue it because this works for his purpose and that's all he needs.
Yeah.
Which is really funny to me because he has literally interacted with the real Arya in recent history. So.
Yeah.
But
anyway, so that kind of like wraps up the, like, we heard about Roose Bolton getting Arya like back in Harrenhal when him and Jaime were having dinner. So we were like, what the fuck's that about? That.
What did he say? He was like, oh, Arya's on her way here?
Yeah, something like that.
Oh, I literally forgot about that. I didn't even remember that. Oh, so was there any indication there that he knew Arya wasn't Arya? Or was it just Jaime? Or was Jaime like, oh, I guess Arya is real? Like, do you know what I mean? Or was it just us knowing?
I don't think
Arya
there was an indication
there.
whether Arya was real or not real. We were just like, wait, how is that possible? We just saw Arya in this other place the other time, you know?
Okay. Wow. So this has been... Okay, you know what? That actually gives so much more context. Because then So this has been part of the deal and part of the plan.
Yeah, and that was pre-Red Wedding, so like...
Exactly, that's what I mean. It was literally part of the Red Wedding planning. But if this was part of the Red Wedding planning, then that means Ramsay was part of the Red Wedding planning. So was Winterfell part of the Red Wedding planning? Or was Winterfell the reason for Ramsay being included in the Red Wedding planning?
I don't know.
Because this opens up a whole can of worms. Okay. I think Ramsay did Winterfell to earn Bolton, and then Bolton and Ramsay are now like bestie dad-father duo, or dad-father dad-son duo, and then Bolton's like, well, if I have an heir now, and then when he's like doing his thing with Lannister, he's like, by the way, my son's gonna get married to the Arya. And then Lannister's like, yes, we definitely have Arya, sounds good. But yeah, okay, that does make sense. Okay.
So much of this has been in the works for so long.
I hate Tywin so much. He's so bloody brilliant in the worst way.
Yeah. I wonder who initiated it though. Like, who sent the first letter?
Bolton or Lannister?
Who fell first and who fell harder?
Or even like, I mean, Frey was part of it too, but Frey wasn't as part of it. It seems like Bolton and
like
Lan
in my head,
more.
Bolton like comes up with this whole thing, takes it to the Freys, and then takes it to the Lannisters because he's just that kind of like the evil person,
right?
You know, but
right.
like it could also just be like Tywin sending both of them a letter and being like,
hey,
you want to
let's
be
do
on my
this.
side. Yeah.
It might have also just been like, you know when Bolton's host got lost after losing or whatever? Like, they lost, and then
They were scattered.
like Rob's army was split into two. Like, maybe it was during that time. Like, maybe, you know what I think? Yeah, that's what I think it was. I think while Bolton's army was scattered, or like Rob's army was scattered,
there's also
and Bolton had it.
that's also the time that Rob got married. So there's also the chances that was brewing. So was Tywin also brewing that, or was that being brewed and then served to Tywin? You know what I mean?
Oh my god, there's so much going on. I don't even know. Do you know, like, for real?
Do I know? I don't know at this
order of
moment if I know
events?
for real.
You don't remember?
Yeah, I can't like place my finger on it.
Oh my god, these plots are so intricate. Like, this is amazing. Oh my god. But like in the worst way, you know? Like, these people need to stop dying, basically. Okay, wait, I need to write all that down so that I don't forget it. Okay.
So it's unclear what Bruce Bolton knows about this.
I wonder if George R. R. Martin even knows about the order of events.
But either way, he's using this fake Arya, to his advantage. And that sucks.
And Ramsay sucks, and he should go die in a hill.
Yeah.
Who is this Arya girly? Can you give me a hint?
No.
Do you know who it is?
Yes.
Is it someone important? Or is it just some random girl that they grabbed?
Well, I'm not going to say anything.
Do they make her important because now she's the fake Arya?
I'm not going to say anything. That's telling you what happens, and I'm not telling you what's going to happen.
I'm scared. I want to know who fake Arya is.
Okay, so they're talking about Tyrion, Prince Oberyn being dead, and Gregor Clegane dying. And Brienne is like, you don't think your brother did it, do you? And Jaime's like, see?
You know me so well.
Exactly, we do know each other well.
After all the misunderstandings we've just had in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, and he thinks that Sansa killed Joffrey and that Tyrion is keeping silent to protect her.
How noble of him.
Yeah, so Tyrion's like, Jaime has taken a real interesting view of this. And Brienne's like, no, she didn't kill him. And he's like, it doesn't matter. He needed to die. I have a gift for you. I call it Oathkeeper.
This was so sweet. This was like, damn.
Yeah. And it's the sword, like the second sword made from ice with all those crazy colors and the lion's head pommel and all those things. Mm-hmm. And yeah, he's like, take this. Oh, this is when she's like, oh, you want me to kill Sansa? I ain't doing that. Mm-hmm. And he says, just listen, I want you to find Sansa and get her somewhere safe and make sure that our vows to Lady Catelyn are upheld. And
she's like, and he's like, I know what you thought. Mm-hmm. Whatever. And at this point, he's just mad. He's like, man, fuck this, basically.
And then he goes into the story of the sword. So this is confirmation that this is ice. Up until now, it was speculation.
I'm literally so smart. This chapter isn't even over, and like 5 of my predictions have been proven true, and I'm just a little genius.
Right. Well, remember when I said, like, you're gonna hate what happens to ice, but also love it?
But you're also gonna love it? Yes.
Does that make sense now?
Yes. Yay!
So, there you go. And then she's like, I guess I owe you an apology. I'll make sure that I do the thing and blah, blah, blah.
And this was his little, I have to go pay my debts. I totally forgot about him even promising Lady Sansa anything.
Yeah. And he's like, no, she's like, you think Sansa killed Joffrey. Why would you want to protect her? He says, I have made kings and unmade them. Sansa Stark is my last chance for honor. And besides, Kingslayer should band together. Yeah, and she's like, I will go and I will find her and I'll keep her safe for her mother's sake and for yours. which is just like basically, I love you, Jamie. I love you so much. Just like
exactly.
that's their version
what I'm saying.
of it.
Now we're Delulu. That's what I mean. Is like, you know, that's what I mean. Like, no relationship is perfect. They're learning to be better together. They had all these misunderstandings, and then we ended on a good note.
Yeah,
and
I love
you
how
know,
we're
slowly you learn
conveniently
and
forgetting
develop.
that they're like 15 years apart in age and all that stuff.
It's fine.
Brienne's basically a child.
It's fine. Brienne is just like us, where like you and I are both old souls, you know. She's an old soul. She needs an old man, basically. But not like an old man, but like a Jaime old man, you know. So it's fine. Don't ruin my dreams with logic.
Anyway,
okay.
So she leaves, and Jamie's sitting around thinking, and he pulls out the white book and goes to his own page and finishes his entry. Defeated in the Whispering Wood by the young wolf Robb Stark during the War of the Five Kings, held captive at River Run and ransomed for a promise unfulfilled. Captured again by the brave companions and maimed at the word of Vargo Hoat, their captain, losing his sword hand to the blade of Zollo the Fat, returned safely to King's Landing by Brienne the Maid of Tarth.
Brienne!
Yeah. And then it ends with like, oh, there's still lots of space left to write. And he could write whatever he chose henceforth. Whatever he chose. So what do you think he's going to choose to write?
Why are you looking at me like that?
I don't know. There seems like he's about to take some action. What action?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
So, okay, let's think about things. Is he going to go to his dad and be like, I'll be your son if you let Cersei be the queen or something?
He lets Cersei like stay here and like do the thing.
Quick, yes, no.
No.
Okay.
No.
Is he... So he doesn't think Tyrion did it. Is he going to do anything about that? Is he going to pay his debts owed or something?
I think so. I also wonder, because earlier he was like... You know when he was like, oh, well, Tyrion swore he didn't do it, and like, he doesn't lie to me. But he wasn't saying it to you. He didn't even know you were there. So did he go talk to him, like, alone? Because he's saying he doesn't lie to me.
That's a good point.
He makes a point of that.
I didn't think of that.
So did he go talk to him? Do they have a plan, possibly, already? Like I don't know. And then also, like, I was also wondering if maybe, like, Brienne could go save Tyrion. Because now she needs a lead on how to get to Sansa, right? Because I think that's going to be her course of action.
Right.
So maybe, like, she's the one who's helping Tyrion. And maybe Jaime, you know, they communicate so well. Maybe Jaime knows she's going to do that. Or maybe Jaime's going to help. But helping would be probably treasonous. So I don't know. There's just, like, a lot of thoughts
he could
swirling
write
in my
treason
head.
in this book if that's what he chooses.
True. So I'm just not sure. But I don't think that the Cersei thing is going to happen. Do you think... Okay, I have a question for you. Opinion. Do you think he should have listened to Cersei? Two questions. Do you think he should have... In terms of their relationship, do you think he should have, like, listened to Cersei? And in terms of what would be the best course of action, do you think he should have listened to Cersei?
So,
I care about both.
A relationship, like, declared to the world that they love each other, that
No.
thing?
Sorry, no, not that. But do you think, like... Because you know how Cersei's like, I'm begging you to do this because, like, you're my only hope and, like, you're my, like, you're my man, like, whatever. In terms of that, like, that emotional plea.
No.
Okay. No. Okay, yeah, sounds good. And then in terms of, do you think it would be a good idea for him to resign and do this? So, like, emotionally, would it be a good idea? And
because all the character growth just down the drain.
Okay, I agree. Okay,
like,
slay.
Jaime
but I
returns
also just
to Cersei, and he returns to the asshole he was in book 1, you know?
Yeah, and, like, he loses his, like, purpose, and, like,
Mhm.
because now he, like, has this, like, he's like, oh, like, this is a job from which I can do good, and this is, like, what I'm doing, you know?
Yeah.
And I like it. Okay, good. Because I just, like, I don't know, Cersei's guilt tripping, I think, just got to me a little bit, because I just kind of,
but she's
'cause, you know,
good
she's-
at this, like,
I
manipulating
know.
people, and you could clearly see she was like, oh, I'm gonna try the, like, I'm gonna be so, like, plaintive, and then I'm gonna be angry,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna be plaintive, and then angry again. She's, like, kind of, like, bouncing back in between.
I know.
Or
And then she just
diffusions.
gets really mean when he doesn't listen, and it was, like,
Yeah.
really unfair, and it's like, I don't know, it's like, I don't know, she doesn't, I don't know. I don't think she really respects him.
I agree. I don't think
like,
she
they-
does.
I think, I mean, yeah, like, whatever, maybe she loves him, but, like, I think, like, yeah, like, with all the cheating, and all of, like, this, like, okay,
I don't
well,
think
need you to do
Cersei
this.
loves him in the same way that Jaime loves her. Like,
Okay,
Jaime's never
interesting.
had sex with anybody else because he's so devoted to her. Whereas Cersei's like, yeah, like Jaime, but, like, I also gotta get my needs met. Which is, honestly, I get that, but, like, it's not the same thing as what Jaime's doing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think they also just have, like, really different worldviews, but I think they're just, like, different, and they don't really work, but they're, like, they have a really unhealthy attachment to each other, so they try to make it work.
Yeah.
So it's, like, really weird. And I think up until now, it's been, like, they're different, but Jaime just kind of molds himself as needed, because he's kind of like, oh, well, I'm devoted to you, though. And then, like, sometimes he'll be like, oh, well, I don't want to do that. And she'll be like, okay, fine, whatever. Like, I'll do something else. Like, do you remember when she was like, you should be Warden of the East, and, like, ask him to do that? And he was like, I don't really want to do that. And then she was like, okay, well,
the
fuck you, but
storyline
whatever.
that George just seemingly dropped
Yeah, like, you know, all of
out
that.
the moon door.
Yeah. So, like, all of that, like, I feel like, so there is little bits of Cersei being like, okay, whatever, but I feel like most of the time it's just, like, Cersei's, like, one of those people with a strong personality, and Jaime's one of those people
that just kind
who
of
just
gives
kind
into
of-
whatever Cersei wants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
because he just, like, didn't
And
really
now
care
he's
about
not
things.
doing that, so, like,
Yeah,
if there's
it
friction
doesn't,
and
exactly, and it doesn't work anymore, because now he actually cares about things, and he kind of has purpose now, other than just her, so,
Mhm.
and just what his dad tells him, you know, because I feel like up until now it's just been like, Cersei loves me and she wants me to do this, and my lovely father wants me to do this, and it's just like, that's what I'm gonna do. And then
So how long until they break up, or is it never gonna happen?
I think it'll happen. I think as this development goes on, it's gotta happen.
Cool. So you think he might already have spoken to Tyrion because of his "not to me" comment?
Mm-hmm.
And there's a plan to save Tyrion somehow, some way?
Yeah. And if there isn't, I think now Brienne's gonna do something to save him,
Mm.
if the Jaime thing isn't already in action.
Cool. Arya Stark. Fake Arya Stark. Is she going to... Are we ever going to see her again? Like, what's her deal gonna be?
I
Like,
think
she's
so.
going up north, unless she runs into actual Arya. I don't know how we're gonna, like, see her, you know?
Yeah, I just wonder, like, are we giving her a POV? Like, I don't... Because I feel like this feels like a pretty important character to keep tabs on. But maybe it'll just be something that we just... I
Get,
don't
like,
know.
letters about or something.
Yeah. Like, Lady Arya's lord husband, Ramsay, has declared, like, you know, and then we'll be like, oh, she's still alive, maybe, you know?
Right. Cool.
Yeah.
Let's move on to Jon.
Jon.
So, he is being lowered on the north side of the wall because his sentence is to go, quote unquote, treat with the free folk, but his real mission is actually to kill Mance Rayder. And they're doing this as a way to, like, so that when the rest of the watch arrives, so they're not, like, blamed for killing him outright, but they still get rid of him, you know?
Oh my god.
And yeah, the whole ice cellar situation is not great. It's like 4 feet by 4 feet or 5 feet by 5 feet. Too low for him to stand, too tight for him to stretch out. Just like miserable.
Yeah.
But what if he went diagonal though?
Yeah, but then he's like leaning right up against the ice, and I feel like it's pretty cold.
No. I'm not saying it's comfortable. But can you be completely vertical, like laying down horizontal? I guess that's... Can you be completely
diagonal and fit in the box? Yeah, but you're stretched out, but you're freezing to death even quicker.
No. I'm not saying it's a good... I was just like, what's the math behind that, you know?
I'm sure he'd fit. Or maybe, I don't know.
I wanted to draw a diagram, which I didn't get around to, of like a 5 by 5, and then do the calculation for the, you know...
Do we know how tall he is?
I don't know. I would say 6 feet.
Okay.
Probably not.
Okay, anyway.
Okay. So, somebody do that math for me, or I will do it later. Doesn't matter.
Please.
Yeah. So, he's got, like, Mace Raymond on his side, but that's it. Although, I was surprised. Why is everybody else who was also fighting with him not on his side? Because wouldn't they be the people lowering him to the ground, and why aren't they fighting this, you know?
Yeah, I don't understand. But I think, you know, everybody's tired. They've been working.
Yeah.
They've been tired. And, like, Janos Slint and Alistair are probably just like, you will be banished if you don't listen.
Yeah. And Janos Slint wants him to call him my lord. And John's like, I'll go, my lord, but you're making a mistake, my lord. You're sending the wrong man, my lord. Just the sight of me is going to anger Mance, my lord. My lord would have a better chance of reaching terms if he said blah, blah, blah.
My lord.
They're like, well, we don't want terms. We want you to kill him.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And he's trying to remind himself, like, oh, it's all our honor and everything. And we already talked about his misguided, like, John's still seeing Mance and the free folk as, like, the enemy. And we've already talked about how that's not the cool approach to have.
Yeah.
Or they should come to an agreement for everybody's betterment, you know?
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, so he arrives down, and he is greeted by a raven who is feasting on a little brain, and yells, "Snow, snow, snow!" So I'm like, is this like one of the watches?
Yeah,
ravens?
I was confused. I'm
like
where did they hear?
Mormon?
They didn't know snow was coming.
Raven?
Yeah,
I don't know.
This was a confusing little like. Is this a plot hole? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, Tormund comes to greet him and take him to Mance Rayder, and they have like a little, like, they have a good talk, like, they get along still.
Yeah.
And they cheers to not Bowen Marsh. Who's the guy?
Donal Noy.
Donal Noy and Mag the Mighty, as well as they greet, and it's a nice little moment that they share.
It's like,
and
we're
I'm
both
more
the same. We both have suffered, both sides, but we get each other. Let's put it to an end. Okay, so question. So what they have right now, because Mance was like, hey bro, let's talk. So it's kind of like no party's doing anything right now?
Yeah, it's kind of like a ceasefire situation.
Sounds
so good. They walk over to the tents, and, you know, it's clear which one is Mance Raiders. And as soon as Mance Rayder sees them, he's like, you must be very brave or very stupid to come back wearing a black cloak. And John's like, yeah, well, I'm a man of the Night's Watch, and I'm here to treat. And everybody else is like, kill him, like harm a dog's head and Viramir and, yeah, all those things. But Tormund's like, shut up, y'all, he's cool. Yeah. Oh, and Viramir, who's the skin changer, has some interesting thoughts on John. He's first of all like, ooh, I like that he's a warg, because once a beast's been joined to a man, any skin changer can slip inside him. And I have been inside the eagle that used to be Oral, and his hate lives on through me now, which is interesting. So this guy took over the eagle that Oral was in when he died. So Oral's soul is in there somehow, but now, like, this guy's soul is also in there, and they're mingling and mixing emotions, and Oral really hates John, so this guy really hates John.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and his other point with that is, oh, by the way, I am an eagle, so I can see on the other side of the wall, and I know that y'all are not doing cool.
Yeah.
And so Mance Rayder's like, all right, come on in. Just you, John, none of the others.
Oh my gosh.
And inside, Dalla, Mance Rayder's like wife or partner, whoever, is on the verge of giving birth, and her sister Val is there. And they're just keeping warm, I guess. And the other thing John notices is that there is a big black horn.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. 8 feet along the curve, so wide at the mouth that he could have put his arm inside up to the elbow. And it's got bands of gold that are engraved or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Engraved with runes. So it's a real badass looking horn.
Yeah.
And immediately...
Is this in the show? Does it look as good in the show?
I can't remember.
Okay.
Yeah, I literally can't remember. Okay. So it must not have made an impression. Or it maybe wasn't there. I don't know. But Mance Rayder announces this as the Horn of Winter that Jorman once blew to wake the giants from the earth. And this horn is supposed to be able to pull down the wall. Just...
Did we know that?
Yeah.
That it could break the wall?
I think we did. Maybe?
But, okay, so it's the Horn of Winter. So this is so confusing. So, okay. Was it also used to make the wall? Is that why it can break down the wall?
I don't think it was involved in making the wall.
That was just Brandon the Builder or whatever?
And, like, free folk and giants and all those.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, so
also the walls got, like, supposedly magic. Like, well,
right.
Or actually magic, because we know that... What's his face? Black Hands? Right. Cold Hands. Cold Hands couldn't cross through.
Whomst?
Remember?
Whomst?
Okay, the guy, the guy riding the elk that Sam rode to the wall.
Yeah.
And when he came up through the well, he was like, "Oh yeah, Cold Hands stopped us here, but he couldn't come through because of the magic in the wall. So Bran, you got to go to him."
Oh, because Bran's on the south side of the wall, and he couldn't cross north to south to come get Bran.
Yes, Bran.
Bran. Okay, sounds good. Okay.
So, like, the wall's got magic and shit, so it's possible that this horn undoes the magic, and then the wall's just like, blah.
Yeah, it's a tired wall. Okay, that makes sense. So just to clarify, so the wall can bring down, or the horn can bring down the wall, and it also wakes giants, and probably more stuff.
Maybe it woke the giants once, but no longer? Because the giants are already awake? Or does it wake dead giants? But that defeats the purpose of fighting against the dead. So I think the purpose that this horn serves now is the bringing down the wall bit.
Okay, but the giant thing was like because it's so powerful, it was used to do that before.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe Jorman woke the giants to build the wall? I don't know. I actually don't know the lore behind this.
Okay. Sounds good.
Basically, the point is, I have this horn, and I can use it to bring down the wall, but I don't want to because we really need the wall to protect against the others.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I can't prove that this horn does that because I don't really want to test drive it because that's not a cool thing to do. but I believe in its power, so it's up to you to decide whether you believe me or not.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing.
Oh my god.
And oh yeah, he's also a bit wary of using the horn. We free folk know things you kneelers have forgotten. Sometimes the short road is not the safest. The Horn Lord once said that sorcery is a sword without a hilt. There is no safe way to grasp it. So there might even be some side effects to this horn being blown that they are not aware of. That
totally makes sense.
Yeah, really cool with like finding out.
Yeah.
So that's another thing.
I feel like a horn that can bring down a magic freaking hundreds of feet high up wall can probably do a lot more.
Yeah. And, Mance Raider's like, well, other than this, I could also, breach the wall in other ways. And he lists a bunch of them. But basically, he doesn't want to do that because it would cost him the lives of his people. And his people have blood enough.
Yeah.
And John's like, what? We haven't killed that many of your people. And Mance is like, well, no. I mean, the others have. They grow stronger as the days grow shorter and the nights colder. First they kill you, then they send your dead against you. The giants have not been able to stand against them, nor the Thens, the river clans, the Hornfoots, no one, nor me.
Oh my god.
And
winter is coming!
Yeah, that adds to the whole, like, y'all are killing these free folk and now they're going to come kill you when they're undead,
Yeah.
So you're actually adding to this undead army, which is just,
Oh my god.
It's one of those things like, let's get everybody inside and then figure out the nuances,
Yeah.
Like, that's what I want it to be. But at the end of this chapter, like, Stannis's people come through and they kill a whole bunch of people.
Yeah.
And who knows what's going to happen to those? Like, yeah.
Yeah. It's just messy and messy and messy.
Yeah.
Oh god. Yeah, but he's basically like, that's the whole purpose of this whole thing. Like, I'm not bowing down, but like, I'm here, like, and I'm like putting my ego aside and I'm gonna come behind the wall.
Yeah,
but
you go open up the gate and then I'll give you the horn in return and the wall will stand until the end of days so that everybody's safe.
Yeah. And now John's thinking about, like, the whole issues he's in, because he's like, well, no matter what I do, I'm screwed.
Yeah, but before that, he's like, oh, so even if you go through, then what? You're gonna rule yourselves and, like, wreak havoc on our lands? Which I'm like, once again, let's get everybody inside first and then argue these topics,
Yeah.
But I guess he's, like, got some interesting concerns, some worthwhile concerns about, like, the two cultures meshing.
Yeah.
But to me, it's just such a secondary concern over literal survival. But, global warming, climate change is a thing, and people don't seem to think that the existential crisis is worth considering over other menial bullshit whatever. So it's not like it's not a realistic approach. Yeah. Oh, I hate it when this book makes me think about our world, which is constantly.
I know, I'm trying to read it to get out of our world. Not think more about our world.
Fantasy. Why is fantasy so horrible? I want to fantasize about a candy land or something.
Oh my god. Yeah. Take me back to my freaking rom-coms that I can make fun of.
Yeah. Basically, John's like, so if you come through, are you gonna obey the king's peace and the laws and stuff? And Mance is like, yeah, no, we're not gonna do that.
When we want laws, we'll make our own. I'm offering you the horn, not our freedom.
Yeah. So John's like, so what if we refuse the offer? And this is when he's thinking, well, it's not like they're gonna listen to me anyway. So there's no way they're accepting this.
Like, Lord Commander might have, but no way these guys do. And I'm dead as soon as I get back. Like, oh god.
Exactly. So, if you refuse, Tormid Giantsbane will sound the horn of winter 3 days hence at dawn. So he's given them a timeline, which becomes irrelevant very soon. But, you know, that was the plan.
But is this just like a bluff to get them to do it? Because it's like, because if you do that, then we all dead. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but then, I don't know, take everybody down with you? I don't know.
Yeah, but like, I don't know if that's the best approach. Like obviously I understand, like, if he doesn't threaten that, they're not gonna listen, so I do get it.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta look at who you're facing. So maybe
you blow the horn. If the wall falls, then you just rush as far south as you can.
Yeah, but I don't know, I just
you go and build another wall 20 miles south.
Using the horn of winter. Please.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's very complex. But yeah, he's kind of thinking, he's like, yeah, like, as soon as I get back, if Mance isn't dead, they're not even gonna listen to what he said. I'm just gonna be dead. But by the time he does that, we hear another war horn.
Mm-hmm.
And so they kind of step outside of the tent and they're like, what's going on? And one of the outriders comes in and
yeah, it's the outrider's horn kind of warning of somebody coming. And Viramir is able to, like, go into the eagle and see that there's somebody coming from the east.
Oh my god.
And they're like, wait, it can't be the whites. They would be behind us. Also, they're right at the wall. The others are this close to the wall.
I didn't even think of that.
Right? Like, in my head, I'm like, oh, they're, like, far, far north, you know?
Oh god.
But this is, like, right there. John just, like, took a quick stroll over to wherever they are.
Yeah. Oh, I hate that so much.
Yeah, but they're like, well, it's the others. It can't be the others. It's still bright daylight outside. So they go out to, like, so John's still standing by the tent, but everybody else just kind of, like, goes out to see what's going on. And Viramir is put in charge of keeping John where he is, and his, like, bear and wolves situation. Is it a bear? I don't know. His animal situation is what's keeping John in check.
Yeah.
And John's like, yeah, well, I don't know what this is about. We don't have the forces, and we didn't hear about any planned attack.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, attack happens. It's first men from the East watch. Then it's people they don't recognize, and John's like, it's like this golden banner with, like, a red thing in the middle. And when did you figure it out that it was Stannis? Like, basically, immediately, or did it take you until he was like, Stannis?
Not, like, somewhere in between. Basically, like, when he said, like, Mance, there's more, they're all around us, Iron Men, a host of Iron Men. As soon as it became clear that it was more than just, like, a few people, I was like, we don't have this many people. It's gotta be Stannis.
I see. Cool.
Yeah. So,
because your previous theory already was that Stannis is
exactly. Yeah, because the chapter before was like, Stannis is somewhere, and I was like, he's literally gotta be here. No way. So, another point for me, this episode is literally just about me being a little evil genius, so I'm good for that.
Good for you. Anyway, in all this, Viramir is, like, in his eagle, but then he starts screaming, and John sees the eagle burning.
Oh my god.
And, yeah, that must be agonizing, like, having the experience of being burned alive but still being alive, you know?
Oh god. I hate that.
But Viramir eventually, like, crawls away because there's, I don't know, not much to do. Oh, and also in the middle of this, what's the name of Mance's partner?
Dala.
Dala starts giving birth. And there's this moment where, like, Val comes out and she's like, it's happening, it's starting. And John's like, the battle? And she's like, no, the birth. And it's this, like, they're trying to, like, I could sense that there was a parallel being drawn between, like, battle between armies and battle with, like, life, birth, childbirth situation.
Yeah.
Which I guess. Like, no, I get it, but childbirth sounds like the most horrible thing ever. Even worse than fighting, honestly, to me. So I get it, but I saw that connection being made, so I just thought I would point it out. Anyway, there's trumpets blowing and everybody's going wild, and John's like, well, they can't be the free folk because they don't have any trumpets, so it's gotta be this army. And the army's kind of doing this pincer move. They're from the east and the northeast and the north, and heavy horse and things and stuff. And oh my god, this moment. Who could it be? The king? Could Rob have returned?
Buddy,
fuck you, George R. R. Martin, for writing that.
From the dead? Come on, John.
Does John know that he's dead?
Doesn't he?
I don't know. Does he?
I swore he got the news of the Red Wedding.
Maybe.
Or maybe he didn't. No, because at the beginning of this chapter, he says something about, like, Rob dying, like... Give me a second to find it. I swear he does, yeah. Or maybe not, because at the beginning of the chapter, he's like, once John had meant to prove them wrong, to show his Lord Father that he could be as good and true a son as Rob. I made a botch of that. Rob had become a hero king. If John was remembered... Oh, I thought it said, like a dead hero king. Like, do you know what I mean? But it didn't.
Yeah.
So maybe he doesn't know. Oh, I wasn't affected by that because I thought John was just being dumb. Oh my god. That's so sad.
So either way, it's heart-wrenching.
That's terrible.
I didn't like it. But, yeah. There's a birth happening, there's fighting happening. And... finally, the banners are approaching and John can kind of start making them out. But it's not until all the men come and start shouting Stannis that John's like, oh. And he just casually turns away, walks back into the tent.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we don't know, like, if Mance is alive, if Tormund's alive, like, any of those guys. Like, we don't know what happened to anyone. But, definitely was a defeat for the free folk, which is unfortunate.
Yeah.
So, Stannis is at the wall now.
What?
Who would have thunk it?
Me.
But like,
literally me.
Back in the day, who would have thunk it?
Yeah, no. This is very abrupt.
So he's literally, like, according to, Melisandre, like the fire savior, here to fight against the winter monsters. So,
but they're getting the monsters wrong.
That's
or maybe
true.
they just didn't think. Like, is it just like they showed up and didn't think about who it must have been?
Well, they came with some of the Eastwatch, and I assume the Eastwatch are like, oh, the free folk are the enemy.
Right. And they just didn't stop to think. But I feel like Melisandre would have the foresight to be like, well, are they, like, you know?
Didn't she say something about, like, it's up to the person reading the flames to interpret them?
So if her biases kind of... Yeah, it's totally possible. That's so terrible.
Will we see our man Davos again?
I hope so. I feel like he's here. Especially if Stannis is already here. I think Davos's words were powerful enough to get through.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
But you know what kind of worries me?
Mm-hmm.
Stannis hated Ned because of his brother issues. And now this is Ned's bastard. Yeah. Poor Jon. And he didn't kill Mance. But Mance might be dead. It was written very unclearly.
Okay. So if Mance is dead, what happens to the free folk? Like, who's their representative then?
Did they have a backup?
I don't know. Mance literally talks about how there's no heirs, none of that shit. Like,
yeah. But maybe, because he said, oh, the other two were willing to challenge me. Like one of the giants or something. And then... frickin'
One of the ones that like gave in to him was Torment.
So maybe Torment
will take
steps
over
in
as like,
there.
okay, say Mance isn't dead. What happens to him?
I feel like they'll take him captive, and they'll probably be like, oh, we'll take you captive and do like a public killing, or like Stannis will give you justice or something. And then like Davos will like be on his side or something, and then Stannis will be like, you need to stop going against me. And Davos will be like, bitch, you're literally here because I went against you.
Okay.
We'll get some more bromance moments.
Is there a stone dragon in this army somewhere?
Ooh. No.
Okay.
I think we would have seen it.
All right. So Stannis is at the wall, but more of the Night's Watch is also here now.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to be in charge of the Night's Watch?
Ooh, maybe Stannis.
I don't know if that's allowed.
Well, not as like Lord Commander, but like for like I feel like this is kind of like he came to save them, so now they have to pledge to Stannis.
But their literal thing is that they don't answer to any king.
Yeah, but Stannis is gonna be like, nobody else came to help you.
So they'll be forced to do it.
Yeah.
But who's going to like have those conversations with Stannis? Is it going to be Janos Slynt, Alliser Thorne, Maester Aemon?
Probably like Thorne, Slynt, and Maester Aemon. But I feel like
It's literally all of the options I just listed.
Okay, listen. But I feel like Stannis, I'd like to think that Stannis will see through the whole Slynt shit and be like, oh, well, you're just loyal to the Lannisters.
Well,
and you've done
Stannis
nothing
might
to
actually know Slynt, because Slynt was
the
City
commander
Watch.
when he was, the City Watch. Yeah, so I think he'll be like, why? I think if he gets any wind of the Lannister stuff, he'll be like, no.
Okay.
But yeah, I think all of them. But then I also think Jon will be part of it because main character era Jon.
And what will happen to the free folk?
I think they'll probably be like, bend a knee, and they'll be like, no. But they might like force them to, because they might just be like, we will just kill you if you don't.
So they bend a knee and then cross over through the wall?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
And then they can sort of occupy the land, like all the, because no one's really in the north
and
anymore.
The new gift.
Yeah, and they can maybe they can start like, oh my god, maybe we can build Winterfell like anew. Maybe we can rejuvenate the north.
With the Boltons in charge.
Oh fuck, I forgot about that. Never mind.
Yeah,
maybe let's
also,
not
how's
go
the
there.
rest of the North gonna feel about Stannis being right there?
I don't know. But I mean, Stannis didn't really have any like direct issues with them. It was just like a general, we're kings fighting,
Right, but now if they're working for the Lannisters, that's direct issues.
Yeah, because the North is the Lannisters, but then Stannis is the Wall. Yeah, fighting, fight, die.
And what is Stannis's purpose for coming here now?
Maybe he'll try to maybe he'll try to like recruit the free folk for his purpose.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like he could do that.
And make a good first impression for that. That first interview did not go well.
I feel like, but probably not, because Stannis is so like, oh, well, you're wrong. I don't want you on my side, He's so like black and white about everything. But I feel like also he might just be like,
Is Melisandre here?
Yeah, I think so.
So won't she recognize like the greater evil of the others? Like her whole religion is based on defeating the other.
I hope so, but I think by then it'll be like they'll have caused so much damage already with their relationship, like with the free folk. So maybe it'll be like, let's fight off the others, and then the universe will just, not the universe, and then Westeros will just acknowledge that you're the righteous king because you fought off. Because that's Melisandre's whole thing, right? She's not like, oh, I'm gonna make Stannis king. Her thing is, the Lightbringer is gonna fix the world.
The sword.
Yeah, whatever. Azor Ahai is
Azor
going to
Ahai.
fix the world. So I think she'll be very focused on the fixing the world part and less focused on, like, the royal relationship part.
Okay, cool. Oh, Mance's baby.
Oh, yeah!
What is in the future for this bebe?
Bebe. Bebe's, just vibing. Maybe he'll take his dad's place someday.
Stop. Yes, this newborn child. Like, what now? Like,
well, he's a newborn child. He can't
assuming
do much.
we don't have like a 16-year time jump.
Well, he can't do much. He's a newborn, bro.
Yeah, but can things be done to him?
I don't think he's gonna die.
Okay.
I hope not. They're gonna kill off a newborn. No, don't kill off a newborn.
Well, I don't know, but maybe Stannis can take him hostage to make Mance do what he wants. Like that kind of thing,
Yeah, but if Mance is dead, that's not gonna work.
Right.
But fine. If Mance is alive, then yes. That makes sense.
Alright.
I'm tired.
I literally can't think of anything else.
Okay, I have...
God. Okay, yes. Do your thoughts while I quickly pull up emails so that we can speed read them.
Okay. My question was just like, yeah, I was just thinking about, like, Brienne and, like, what she, like, let's say she, like, gets Tyrion out, and, like, that's the plan. She's gonna be like, where's Sansa? And he's gonna be like, I don't fucking know. Like, do they go investigate? Like, maybe they can go be like, maybe they, like, he's like, oh, well, Dantos left on the same night. And then maybe they make their way to, like, Oswell or something. But, like, I just, like, don't understand how she's gonna do her mission, is basically where I'm at. Like, who do they go to investigate? Like, usually when we have questions...
That's a tough question. Well, you had this theory about her going to Tyrion for it, but we also know that Tyrion's got jack shit on it, so...
Exactly. So, like, do you go to Varys? Do you go to Littlefinger? But, like, they're fucking in on it.
Well, Littlefinger's not there.
Yeah. Do you go to Varys? But does Varys even know? Which is also another question. And then, if he does know, obviously he let it happen, so he's not going to give it away. So it just feels like a big, long dead end, and I just don't understand what's going on.
Big, long dead end.
Like, maybe Jaime could, like...
Well, maybe George was gardening and he accidentally snipped the wrong branch or something.
Bud, please. Maybe Jaime could, like, convince Tommen or something, but he's not regent, so
Tommen to do what?
I don't know, like, not banish. Like, forgive, like, Tyrion or something. I don't know.
Oh, no. Okay, sorry. I thought we were still on Brienne finding Sansa.
No, I'm thinking about getting Tyrion. There's too many issues happening. I'm trying to think about all of them at the same time. It's not working. Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know.
Wait, we still need to do next chapters.
Okay. Oh, wait. Yes.
Okay. Next chapters. We're reading 3. Quickly. Hope's predictions.
Arya.
Mm-hmm.
The real one. Sansa.
The real one. You mean Elaine.
Oh, God. Stop. And Jean.
Cool. Well, you got one or some of 3. So we're reading chapters 74, 75, and 76. Wow. Chapter 74 is Arya.
Wow, I'm so cool. Okay, Arya, where is she? Oh, she's, like, trying to go to River Run. Maybe she'll, like, get to River Run and they'll be like, it's under siege. And Mountain will be like, man, I need to just let go of you. Why does this keep happening when I'm with you? People keep dying. Then she'll cry and then she'll run away. I'm joking. Basically, they'll probably get there and either get, like, caught by someone, which would be really, really bad, or they will get there and then start going the other way because they'll realize it's under siege. Maybe Brynden will save them or something. I don't know.
Cool. We'll Chapter 75 is Samwell Tarly.
Sam! Okay. Samwell, oh, he's with the cold hand
Gilly.
guy.
No, Sam's with Gilly on this side of the wall now.
Oh.
Bran and party went with Cold Hands.
where was Sam trying to get back to the Night's Watch, right?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe he's getting back now.
To, like, Castle Black?
I think so.
Cool. Reunion with John. And maybe John will find out that Bran is alive.
Whoa. Oh yeah, he can't have known about Rob because didn't they just get the news about Bran?
Kinda.
Okay. Because I remember us making fun of how behind they were in their mail.
Yeah, no, yes, there was definitely news of that John got when he got back to Castle Black. But, yeah, I cannot remember if he knows about the Red Wedding yet or not. I feel like the answer is no.
I don't think so.
Okay, so... Oh, that's another thing that Stannis can tell him. Yay.
Oh, God.
So Sam gets back to Castle Black, that's it?
Yeah.
Cool. Chapter 76 is John.
John! Maybe we'll get a John-Sam crossover episode. Maybe we'll get the Mance Raider resolution. Maybe we'll get a Stannis-John interaction. Stannis will be like, I never really liked your father, brother. Or he hasn't even met his brother, but, I never really liked your father much, but I'm happy he's gone. What? Did not say that. It'll be like a weird interaction.
Coolio. Okay, let's move on to emails now.
Yay! Okay.
So, this first email is from over a month ago. It was sent
Lovely.
on November 1st. It is titled The Future of the Realm, and it is from Fuzzy from Discord.
Whoa! Hi, Fuzzy.
Dear Nav and Harmouth, this is once again your friendly commenter Fuzzy. I have something I'd like to share that I feel deserves the grandiosity of being read out loud on the podcast. I have sired a trueborn son.
Oh!
I am furthermore pleased to report that, like all records of his forebearers, he is dark of hair. Homage may be paid to the new prince on Discord. Oh, congratulations, Fuzzy. We wish you the best with
Fuzzy.
So this newborn child. Oh wow, there was a baby born in this chapter. Now there's a baby born in an email a month ago. Sorry for the late wishes, but congratulations. That's exciting. Hope you're
so
getting
sweet.
Sleep and shit. I don't know. Parenting is
God.
stressful, and I'm happy that your family went through with this childbearing battle thing, but glad it turned out well. And
that's so fun. Slay, Fuzzy, slay.
Congratulations. All right. Next email we have got from Yaya.
Hi, Yaya.
So this was meant to be read, I think, last chapter, if I'm correct, but we ran out of time. So it's titled, Let the Martells Have a Win, for fuck's sake. Dearest Nav and Harmouth. Sorry, Harmouth, but Nav needs some love too. They started this community after all.
Okay, you know what? I'm disowning you as my favorite. Whatever.
Congrats on getting the Shay prediction right, Harmouth. The spoiler chat was living for it. I was very excited for this episode until I remember Oberyn's head getting juiced like an orange. Alas, another queer icon dies.
Oh, that's so sad.
I'm very conflicted on the whole I will hear you say it thing. On one hand, I am so frustrated that he didn't just finish Gregor, but on the other, I totally get it. Elia and her kids do deserve justice. Rip sweet babies. And I think Leah in the Discord mentioned that maybe he was trying to get the Mountain to confess Tywin's crimes through that confession. And that's why he was drawing it out. Which is cool, but didn't work, so
Basically, yeah.
Also, what did you think about the Lannister Martell engagement business that Oberyn mentions? Would Cersei and Oberyn and or Jaime and Elia have worked out? Would the twincest have stopped? It's one of my favorite what ifs in this series. And yeah, it's because it's somewhat romance related. Sue me. So what are your thoughts? Would that have worked out?
define worked out. I think that Cersei and Oberyn would have probably, like, murdered each other, but it might have also, like, I don't know, it might have also worked, because they're both, like, really, like, I don't know, like, really fierce.
Ambitious, outgoing kind of people?
Yeah, but I don't know, it's one of those, like, toss-ups, because sometimes that works, and it just channels.
Yeah,
like,
but
a
also
really
how
good
much
energy.
of their personalities were solidified at that point, you know? Like, we know soon
Yeah.
after, or right around this, is when Cersei's torturing Tyrion for being born. So there is
Right.
some unfortunate qualities
Yeah.
there. What about Jaime and Elia, though?
I don't know.
If, like, Jaime had somebody else to, like, focus his attentions on, and then Cersei, he was
totally
enabling
person.
Cersei's, like, things.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really interesting because I think, like you said, like, they didn't, like, we don't know much about their personality beyond that because they are so intertwined with one another. So I think it's tough to say because they could have almost been anyone, but also it might just be nature. Like, they might have still turned out the way that they did. Like, we just, like, don't really know.
Yeah. But
I don't know. I don't know. I think we can kind of just make it up. Like, I think it makes just as much sense to say, oh no, they would have been very similar to how they are now. Like, Jaime would have had that similar arc, and Cersei would have had a similar arc, just with different people.
Well, then Cersei would have married what's-his-face? Rhaegar, probably.
Yeah.
And potentially a whole war could have been avoided.
But then would it have resulted in... Like, I don't know, I just wonder, because then if Cersei marries him, and then Tywin and his dad and Aerys are still at odds, so maybe that results in a war anyway. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, things could still happen the way that they did. Really, that's what I mean. Like, we just don't have enough details to, like, make it up, so we can just make up whatever we want, and it makes just as much sense.
I think Jaime and Elia could have worked out, but Cersei and Oberyn probably not.
Yeah, Cersei and Oberyn would be, I mean, maybe they could channel their passion, but it might just be hate. Like, it could become enemies to lovers, but I think it would probably just stay at enemies.
Yeah. Anyway, continuing. Yaya says, all I have to say about Dany's chapters is fuck Jorah. I hope Exile treats him terribly. After Harmouth admitted that Sansa has a crush on Sandor, I can sleep peacefully knowing I'm halfway there to making ship this nightmare couple.
You're so funny, Aya.
We have peer pressured her into low-key liking Stannis. I can do it for Sansan too.
Please, you're so funny. I don't think there's enough people peer pressuring me for that. I think you're the only one who ships Sansa. And that I know of as of now.
I will not plug the Discord because listeners might accuse me of getting paid for it, but I will say that there's a collage of shirtless Jon Snow on there. Wink, wink.
I'm dead. Oh my god.
Hope you're having a wonderful day, Yaya. In brackets, your problematic fave.
That's so funny.
I appreciate you, Yaya. And I think there's actually an addendum to this. Dear it's titled an add-on to the last email. Dearest Harmouth and Nov, now you're first Harmouth. I thought of this whole grocery shop.
Oh, okay, never mind. I reclaim you.
I just thought of this while grocery shopping. Is there an actual law that forbids same-sex marriage in Westeros? If not, Dany and Marjorie would be a power couple. Think about it. Dany has all her Khalisar and the Unsullied. She has to feed them. Once she gets to Westeros, she can cook up a deal with Elena or something. She gets food, they get protection from Dragonfire. It's a fair trade. All of this was brought forth by me remembering the sex scene between Dany and Irri in this chapter. Bisexual icon Daenerys? I'll let y'all decide on that. I think ours was, like, unclear.
I think so. That was our evaluation.
Yeah. While picking up breakfast cereal. What? Where am I? Oh, Yaya remembered that sex scene while picking up breakfast cereal.
Oh no.
My mind works in mysterious ways. I won't apologize for sending 2 emails back to back because when Mott's did, Nav threatened not to read any more of his emails and I'm scared of them. Lovingly. Hey, listen, it was not because he sent multiple emails back to back. It was because he was being self-deprecating in the emails that I was like, I'm not going to read them. So send us as many emails back to back to back to back as you want. We love back-to-back
emails. Yes.
Yes.
Just don't be self-deprecating, basically.
We can be self-deprecating ourselves, but let's work to have self-compassion for ourselves, you know?
Okay, therapist.
Anyway, it's signed yours to bully. Yeah. We don't mean to bully you. Or at least only lovingly.
Please. No, you're literally my favorite. It's okay.
Yeah, but thank you for those emails. That was delightful. Okay, this one, hang on, this is from November 9th, so it's also from a while ago. It has spoilers in the title, so I just need to read it over to make sure that it's not spoilers here.
I could get my spoilers on. Spoilers on.
Cool. Okay, so I don't think that... I'll get to the spoilers bit. So... It seems like it's addressed to me, mostly. It says, Nuv, firstly, I disagree with your thought that they used the hairnet to deliver the poison as a way to burn bridges for Sansa. No one knows anything about the hairnet besides Littlefinger, Sansa, Dantos, and Elena, if you believe what Littlefinger says. The Lannisters don't know for sure if Sansa was involved. They just assume because she escaped, but they don't know how. It could have been a stone. She could have poured it straight from the jar, or she spit in it with her magic wolf saliva. It's all assumptions. I believe that the hairnet was more of a tool to get Sansa to trust Dantos, build a rapport and relationship off of it. Make it easier for her to accept this help and offer of escape. Was the poison ever in it? Maybe. Maybe Littlefinger noticed a missing stone, heard the bells ringing for Joffrey, and spun a story embellishing his role in the night's events to make Sansa think his influence is farther reaching than it actually is. Let's not forget he's a master manipulator and liar. Everything he says should be taken with a grain of salt. I agree with that last bit, but I think I still stand by my theory that they were trying to implicate Sansa in this. I don't know. I just think the evidence that we talked about during that discussion still has me convinced. What do you think, Harmith?
I think so. I think the last thought is really interesting because there's already so much going on that if that's going on, my mind is like fried. Because I didn't even consider that.
If like Littlefinger is extra Littlefingery.
Yeah. And like, I don't even want to consider what that means because my brain, like, whoa. Because...
That's like too many double agents.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's so convoluted. Like, if Littlefinger had said that and was able to spin up a good enough story and genuinely got away with that, you know what? He might have to become my new love to hate. Because that's just too good. That's like Tywin level planning, you know? That's not like measly little like shit going on anymore.
I feel like already it's Tywin level planning though.
No, I don't want to give him that credit. Absolutely not.
Wow, I love how you were so like you're kind of like a Tywin fangirl.
No, I'm just a Littlefinger hater.
Okay.
It's not that, like, if it was other characters being up to Tywin's par, I'd be like, slay. But it's just that it's Littlefinger that I'm, like, icked out.
Okay. Anyway, so, this listener, there's a name on the email, but they didn't sign it, so I'm not gonna say their name. Just... wait. Oh. Yeah. Just making sure there's no sign off. So there's more. And who's to say that Joffrey was the real target? He didn't die until after he ate Tyrion's pie with freshly poured lemon cream over it. I believe that Tyrion was targeted by Littlefinger to get Sansa out of her marriage. but something went wrong and Littlefinger just rolled with it. Not my theory, but your comment asking why Olenna Tyrell just didn't bring the poison herself instead of some crazy plan involving half a dozen other people reminded me of this video from years ago. And there's a link to this video about the Purple Wedding by Jacob Preston on YouTube. I have not had a chance to watch this yet, but I will later. But it's got spoilers, so Harmouth, you can't watch it. Jacob Preston is awesome. I love his theories and the questions he brings up with Martin's books. And please take 10 minutes out of your busy day and watch this. I'd love to know your thoughts on it, and I'd love to see the two of you watch this video and talk about them at some point, you know, after the books, shows, spin-off, etc., etc. Oh, and watch a series on the Dornish master plan if you really think Oberyn didn't think ahead. Well, interesting. All right.
Okay, wait. My brain got lost. So basically, the theory was that it wouldn't make sense for Olenna to enlist herself in this whole plan when she could have just brought poison for Joffrey.
Olenna to like we were like, why didn't Olenna just bring the poison? Like, it's not like anybody's checking her purse.
Right.
Why does it need to be in Sansa's hairnet?
Oh, and it's because it was just Littlefinger's plan to get rid of Tyrion. Is this person's
so
theory.
that Sansa could get out of her marriage. So the plan was actually to kill Tyrion, not Joffrey.
But then the whole dwarves, or not the dwarves, like, then the whole thing with, like, the people fighting and all of that doesn't really make
Which fighting?
sense. Like, the two people who came in and, like, fought.
Oh, yes, the act.
Yeah, because then I feel like that doesn't really add up. Or maybe it's like then are we framing Joffrey? Like, you know? Because all of that was definitely, like...
That's a good point. I think that was another, like... I don't know. I think what Littlefinger has said so far is true. Mm-hmm. He may have left details out, but what he has said in that regard is true. That's what I believe.
I think so, too.
Also think that it makes more sense for Sansa to bring in the poison as a way to implicate her. I still do. But I will watch this video and see if my thoughts change. I'll share them in the Discord. So if you're in there, make yourself known. Because, like I said, you didn't sign your name here. So I won't read the name from the email. Because that may be an invasion of privacy. And I don't want to do that. Anyway, thank you for the email. Interesting thoughts.
Slay, thank you.
All right. The final 3 emails are from our dear Mots.
Slay.
It's titled, first one is titled, I Want Food. This has nothing to do with the rest of the email, by the way. I just thought it had to be said. Hope
is that the title?
Food. Yeah, it's from November 3rd, so I hope you got food, Mots. It's been like a month.
Please.
Greetings to 2 individuals, both of whom I strongly admire and hold in equally high regard.
That's so funny. There we go.
Now, that's one way to do it.
That's the answer to all our problems.
Recently, on October 29th, I think, I started listening to the show from the beginning again, and it's been a wonderful experience.
Wait, like us? Oh.
Yes.
That's so funny.
Hearing Harmouth trying to figure out some of the wild twists whilst having to familiarize herself with the world and characters and plot is so fun to listen to.
Yeah, because none of it made any sense. I feel like now I have a better grasp of what actually happens in the series, but I think for at least the first 2 books, I just, like, was so... what? Like, I just couldn't get a... And also because we were recording so rarely, like, I just couldn't get a grasp on it. And at times we were recording so quickly. Like, I was just... It was, like, both. It was both too fast and too slow, and I was just like, I don't know what's happening right now. And it was a lot.
Yeah. And Nav's ability to manipulate her has improved so drastically since this journey started, and I'm so proud of them. Oh, thank you, Mots. They're turning into a real-life Littlefinger, and I'm so here for this. Oh, no.
Okay, so you're icky then, basically.
I don't know how to take that, but I think you mean it as a compliment, so I'll take it as a compliment. There is a massive difference in Hunbut's predictions for A Game of Thrones to A Storm of Swords. The first example that comes to mind is when she had to make predictions for Arya 5 and Bran 7 of Book 1. Harmouth guessed that Arya would be about to arrive at Winterfell after escaping King's Landing in her chapter, and that we see her reunion with Bran in this chapter. In reality,
God.
Arya 5 is when she witnesses the death of dear Nedardio.
Oh,
In the
God.
following chapter,
Oh, God.
Bran and Rickon wake up from their shared dreams about seeing their dad in the crypts of Winterfell, and they learn about the misplacement of Nedardio's head. Nedardio's Hedardio?
Oh.
It says that.
Oh my God, yeah.
You were so off.
I hadn't figured out geography yet. That's basically my only defense. It took me a while to figure out geography. That was definitely one of the things I was slowest at. I was like, oh yeah, they're gonna make it there.
You were
in
also
like half
very
a chapter.
optimistic. These days, Harmouth's predictions tend to range from cautious at best to straight up pessimistic at worst. And it's not hard to see why. Listening to the early episodes again is making you want to give past Harmouth a hug. She is well on her way from being a sweet summer child to becoming a seasoned winter veteran, and I love it. Mots, do you do this to me on person with your W and your V's? Congratulations, and my sincerest apologies for putting you through this. I would like to say that I know the series better now because I'm re-listening to the podcast, since you both frequently point out details that I have never picked up on while reading them myself, and I love that for me. We love that for you too, Mots.
Thank you, Mots. Slay.
Also, because of an old episode, Sansa and Daenerys of A Game of Thrones, it's Sansa 6 and Daenerys 9. I'm now picturing Sandor Clegane as a fairy godmother, so thank you for that. I don't remember us talking about this, do you?
I don't remember us, but I feel like it's probably one of the ones where he helped Sansa. And we were like, oh, he's her fairy god. And it was probably when Arya was getting her wishes, so we were probably combining the thoughts and making Sandor into
this
the
is
fairy
A Game of
godmother.
Thrones.
Oh. Like the first book?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Then it was probably just, like, him saving her for the first time and us being like, wow, he's, like, her fairy godmother. He just, like, shows up. I don't remember the specifics, though.
Yeah. I guess we gotta go back and listen. Although it's so cringy listening to ourselves.
I know. Especially from a while ago. Like, I just feel like, it's too much.
I just, like, basically close my eyes and do the editing real quick. But, like... I'm now about a third of the way through your episodes on A Clash of Kings, and I'm so glad I decided to do this re-listen. You two are wonderful, and I really appreciate you. Sincerely, Mots.
Oh, thank you, Mots.
P.S. I was going to open this email by saying greetings, Harmouth, and the afterthought, thanks to Nav's reaction to my last email. However, I figured I'd try to be nice to you for once, and I probably don't need to clarify this, but neither of you will ever be an afterthought to me.
Aww.
You're both wonderful, and I appreciate you more than I can put into words. Fine, I guess.
That's so sweet. I'm gonna cry.
I don't know how to take compliments. P.P.S. In a recent episode, Harmouth brought up the idea of making a channel in the Discord dedicated to fan-made stuff. I'm honestly all for this. Who knows? Maybe it would even inspire me to finally start writing a Game of Thrones fanfic.
Ooh.
Another Discord channel?
I don't remember saying that. Oh, I do have a Discord channel proposition, but it's not that. So if we are making that mods, that one's gonna have to wait because I have another idea, and you'll just have to join the Discord if you want to know what it is.
Okay. If I agree to making it a thing. Because I don't even know what this is. Okay.
You will agree to making it a thing.
Anyway, the next day, Mott sent a follow-up. I just got to the precipice episode. Oh no! That's when I couldn't remember the word precipice, and I spent the entire thing trying to figure it out.
Oh my god.
And
I
then,
totally forgot about that.
8 days later, he sent update. I just finished the binge listen. Also, I've been keeping count of how many episodes include emails from me, and assuming I didn't miss any, there have been 16 thus far, and I have more planned, so get ready for that.
Slay!
No, we appreciate that, Mods. That's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. He's re-listened to the whole thing.
I love that.
Well, hopefully...
Also,
we're not
everybody,
too cringy.
Send us, if we're on your Spotify Wrapped or like your Apple Wrapped or like any of those things, send them to us. We want to know.
Yeah, some people shared theirs in the Discord.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was cool.
Also, send us end of book stuff, because we're very, very
Yes,
close.
theories, especially theories, but also questions.
Yeah. Send so many theories that my mind is blown and I want to die. The ones today about Littlefinger, like, I'm gonna die, you guys. Send stuff like that like, confuses me and makes me question my reality. Like, I love those.
We could just go back and reread all the emails for the wrap up.
Please. That's funny. It would definitely be, like, a long episode.
Yes,
We'd break some records.
Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to it. But send it all, and we will... It's gonna... The holidays are coming up, so I'll have some time. I'm going to, like, sit down and actually compile all this shit, because that's what I need to do. But I'm really looking forward to it.
How many
this
episodes
third
away
book,
are we?
I don't know. This third book is so full of things to theorize on.
There's so much going on.
Honestly. Yeah, I don't even know where to begin. I think that's what, like, I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed and paralyzed right now because I don't know where to begin with all the theories.
Yeah.
But yeah, please send them our way. We look forward to them. And have we done everything that we need to do?
Yes.
Cool. Give me un second. All right. So, everyone, make sure you join the Discord. The link is in the show notes, as always. And follow us on Instagram. It's at Pop Culture Symposium. And send us an email, popculturesymposium@gmail.com. I have got to say, if you send your theories and questions through emails, it's easier for me to keep track of. So I would really appreciate it. Even though if you do send it on Discord or other means, I will do my very best to also keep track of that. Just a quick FYI. Because on emails, I can create tags and, go back to them. Discord, sometimes there's like 150 messages within an hour span, and I don't know what to do with myself. Usually, because a lot of our folks are over in Europe, and they'll be texting like during their daytime hours, and I'll wake up to 500 new messages, and I'm just God. I don't know how to keep up with this.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, but it's great. We love it. Bring more of it. And our little community is growing. The cult is succeeding.
Okay, shh. Moving on.
I guess until next time, farewell, my friends.
Talk to you later.